Hey, Katie.
Hi.
Willie and Val from Y96.9 in the studio. It's the Radiothon.
Thank you for calling or talking with us this morning, Katie.
Yeah.
Katie was a patient at St. Jude. When was this, Katie?
Oh my gosh, I was actually thinking about it yesterday. I was diagnosed 28 years ago.
Wow. And look at you today, girl. You're healthy, you're happy. And tell us your St. Jude story, if you would.
Oh, I'd love to. Well, I was just like every normal little 6-year-old. I was just active. I had an older brother, an older sister, and a younger brother, and just into everything. I was a brownie, a scout. I was in tap lessons. I was in kindergarten, and just, living the fun life. And started complaining to my mom about my shoulder hurting. And of course, with two older brother and a sister, you kind of get beat up. So of course, she just kind of thought it was just the normal bumps and bruises. But when I kept complaining, she finally took me to our local pediatrician, and he ran some tests, did some blood work, and ended up admitting me to the local hospital. And they did some more tests. And fortunately, the hematologist there had done work with St. Jude and said, Mary Jane, Phil, sorry to tell you this, but I do see some irregularities in her blood count, and it does lead me to believe that it is leukemia. But I have done work with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, and I feel that it is the best place for her. And he made some phone calls and was able to get me admitted the next day. So my parents and I threw stuff in a suitcase, whisked up to St. Jude, and by noon that afternoon, they confirmed his initial diagnosis that it was acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is the most common form of childhood cancer. But, of course, my parents were like, wait a second, we're in the middle of softball, kindergarten graduation. It was my first tap dance recital ever, and, all of a sudden cancer's in the mix of it, and that was not anything that, they'd heard with kids. It was always just older people. And
exactly.
now the little blonde-eyed, or blue-eyed, blonde little 6-year-old was faced with it. But St. Jude said, we've really gotten some great numbers, some great results. And at that point, I think they were up to a 60-70% survival rate.
Wow. Because it's not, what is 94% now?
94%, yeah. But I mean, considering when they opened, it was like 4%.
Yeah.
So
wow.
In the early 80s, that was an amazing number. But I underwent chemotherapy for 2.5 years, and, kind of the spinal taps and the non-fun needlework, but the nurses and doctors there were just fabulous. I kept in touch. I followed my doctor. He's actually now working out in California, and my nurse practitioner just recently retired. So they all stayed with it and still do, pediatric cancer research, but St. Jude was just an amazing place because it was always going in and they were like, Katie, how are you feeling today? Katie's mom, what's going on? And so I was always involved in everything, and, the doctors were on eye level with me even back in the 80s, and just seeing the fabulous work that they've been able to do through Partners in Hope calling in and giving, a donation each month.
Makes all the difference. Katie, and because how much, Katie, did you and your family pay for all that treatment?
Nothing.
Nothing. That is why you donate to St. Jude. And like you were saying, Katie, you got, you formed such close relationships to your doctor, your nurse practitioner, and I'm sure that your parents did as well, right? Because as we've been talking about, St. Jude doesn't just treat you and your physical ailments. They treat the psychological aspect of it, and the counseling for your parents, and even schoolwork and stuff that you can do there at St. Jude.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed a lot since I was there. I mean, but it's amazing with making sure that you're not falling behind in school and making sure that you lead that normal life that, a 6-year-old can do. So by the time that I made it back to first grade the following year, I was right with the swing of things, and yeah, it was amazing.
So after the 2.5 years, and then you were declared cancer-free, and you've been cancer-free since then, yes?
Yes, I have, and I did a follow-up for another 7.5 years and kind of going back and just doing blood work, but now I also participate in their follow-up program where they follow me and seeing, the long-term side effects. And they always say, once a patient, always a patient, because they want to make sure that not only have they, cured the cancer, but the side effects of any of the drugs that I've received, making sure that there aren't any long-term effects and stuff. And right now I'm just doing wonderful, and I'm actually engaged to be married in May.
Right on.
Katie.
Katie, have you been back? And when you did go back, how did it feel being in the hallways there?
Oh, it's changed so much. When I was there, it was actually just it was the initial 5-star building. So back when Danny Thomas had his dream, I was there shortly after, and to go back and just see the amazing research facilities that they have, and the additions, the towers, they've done right now the Brain Tumor Consortium that they work with. It is just amazing. And the city of Memphis helped them by donating a street that they've since converted into, additional buildings and grounds for patients to stay at right there on campus. And, it is a one-stop amazing shop.
Katie, thank you so much for talking to us this morning.
Congratulations on your health and
your engagement.
your impending engagement.
Yes. Well, thank you for all that you guys are doing and all your listeners are doing, because it is really paying off for people right here in Colorado that are living and breathing this miracle each day.
Wonderful.
It's our
Thank
pleasure,
you,
dear. You're
Have a great day,
fantastic,
girl.
Katie. Thank you.
Have a great one.
Okay,
All right,
you too.
bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.